himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so Nuroff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Ferrari, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's just like trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching. And the Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
coming down.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Hello everyone, welcome along to the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari for the final round of Season 1 of Evolution Sim Racing. My name's Alex Goldschmidt, standing in for Steve this evening, and I'm joined by Dean Biggles once again, working as colour commentator and also the broadcast cameras. Dean, good evening buddy, how are you?
Good evening, yes. I am fantastical, thank you very much. Loving my pineapple on my pizza here in Italy. And, obviously, the other Italian track.
Oh, yeah, you had to say that straight off. But, folks, we've got two exciting races to conclude what's been a fantastic championship so far. We are into the dying moments of time qualifying, which has been a 30-minute open session. At the moment, Orimas Zelinskas leads the pro standings on 550 points. Needs to finish at least 14th in the opening race to clinch the title. Mark Thomas from CRN Motorsports hot on his heels, 42 points behind. Rhys Saunders from Team Year 1 in third, ahead of Paul Cowlishaw, one of the privateers. Raz Harper rounds out the top 5 on 420, with Carl Handwerk on 386, Scott Kostrich on 242, Philip McConaughey on 230, Gary Mitchell on 225, and Alex Fretwell rounding out the top 10 in the Racing League Hub Ferrari on 188 points. Thiago Reiser, in the meantime, for the AM classification, is on 523 points. He needs to keep that advantage by the end of the opening race tonight to take the title from Joe Glass. So it's going to be a definite dogfight here tonight at the AM classification. Matthew Jones, Joe Glass's Glass Tech Racing teammate, is in third on 434. Stephen Parkinson, Wesley Van Rens, James B. Bostock, Stephen Donnelly and Hussein Sarika Dessler rounds out the top 8. Modestas Krajauskas is on 283 points, with James Muckian from Alpha Racing rounding out the top 10 on 247. In the team standings coming into this final two races of the championship, Team Year 1 have a slender 19-point lead ahead of Guarana Racing on 900. CRN Motorsports are still in with a shot on 894. Glaztech Racing on 892. SRB Motorsport by Lindvega on 833. GP2 Racing on 633. Racing Rascals in 7th on 430. MRC on 338. Cabot Motorsport on 319. And Alpha Racing rounding at the top 10 in the teams. So with 2.5 minutes to go around this circuit that has been in operation for over 7 decades, since April of 1953, we'll showcase the prowess of the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo around its very familiar layout, which at the moment spans just over 3 miles, which is just a shade over 4.9 kilometres. And Rhys Saunders at the moment is leading the way in the open qualifying session with just 2 minutes to go on a 1 minute 41.263. Zelinskas is about 1.3, close to 1.3 seconds behind, but Mark Thomas is not too far behind, just 4 100ths off in third. Stefan Parkinson is the is the best placed of the AM drivers in fourth on a 1:42.685. The times are, and Rhys Saunders straight away says in the chat, Dean, small pole margin, ha 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 ha. I think that might be an email pole margin for Rhys Saunders right now, because he's currently sitting in pit lane.
Yeah, he does that actually. Rhys, I was just about to say, get out there and give us a hot lap guide around Imola, please, my friend. I don't know if there's enough time, just under a shade of 1 minute to go, but just board with Lee. He's going to be starting a hot lap, and I like to get a hot lap. I know he's just jumping in pit road right now. Damn you, Lee. I need a car to go on a hot lap with, so we can get everybody out there who's not familiar with this track. Should be right now if you're a driver. But
yeah,
right on board. I mean, you can give us a little bit of a talkie about how to drive your way around this track.
Well, I mean, this particular circuit has 18 corners as we ride on board. I think that is with Joe Glass, if I'm very much mistaken, as we're making our way down towards Variante Alta, which is turns 14 and 15. You can bump over the curbs a little bit, but don't be a bit too haphazard and full send, because it might be 2 wheels up in the air and you'll lose traction. Then it's going to run down the dip through this sort of part here, through the right, through the right, and then the left, and then build yourself up for Rivazzo, which is the double left-hander, and then brings you on to the start-finish straight. 19 corners in all, as well, Joe Glass decides with 5 seconds to go on the timer, he's going to dump it back into pit lane. So what is the format? As always, folks, it's a 20-minute sprint race for race 1, and then we'll have a reverse grid top 15, which will be 30 minutes. Now, we have been given, have to give a shout out to James Bostock, as always. He has given us information that it's going to be penalty points. So let's take you through the starting grid for race 1, the 20-minute sprint race. Reece Saunders starts on pole position. Zielinskis alongside. Thomas and Parkinson on row number 2. Raz Harper and Joe Glass on row 3. Matthew Jones, Martin Lee, James Bostock and Joseph Sparra round out the top 10. Thiago Reiser, Wesley Van Rens round out the top 6 rows, completing the top 12. And then we're going to have the likes of Scott Kostrich, Joseph Preston, Stephen Donnelly, Hussein Sarakadesla, Chris Keenan, Mark Robinson, Gareth Newton, Robin Aston, and rounding out the 21-strong grid, well, it's Graham Matthew or Matthew Graham, whichever one it is, but 20 minutes on the timer, and this is where things could be very much decided. And once these drivers are primed and ready to go, we are still waiting for about 3 drivers to ready up on the grid. And once we do so, we will be ready, and there is Reece Saunders, who literally sent it into another district in Italy. I think he might have been halfway on his way to Monza when he set that pole lap time a little bit earlier on, wouldn't you say, Dean?
Yeah. But he's got to be very careful as into turn 1. That's going to be the big challenge before. And he has lost these positions before in the past this season into turn 1. So let's see if Zielinskis can do something about it and continue on up the road there. It's going to be a great, fantastic battle. The 21 of the Gladiators here in the arena of Italy. Over to you for the race start.
So, the red lights start igniting on the starting gantry here at the home of Ferrari for the penultimate race of the Evolution Sim Racing season number 1. There's a big plume of wheel spinners. They all get their way in towards Tamburello for the Tamburello for the first time. Zielinskis has already slingshotted past around the outside before they even hit turn number 1, and Saunders has already dropped to 3rd. They've got to be very, very careful. This is a precarious point in the championship, but Zielinskis has already bolted away into the distance. He's nearly taken the same amount of time out of Saunders in terms of a lead that Saunders had when it came to pole position. We've already had a few drivers go off track. Sarakadesla, Preston, Keenan. Oh, someone very, very slow coming out of Torza at turn 7. 2 abreast at points. Oh, was that Reece?
Reece Harper.
Was that Reece? Yeah. Oh, dearie me. Raz Harper. So Raz Harper not having a good one there. And again, these track limits, they've got to watch it over the opening laps or 2. 14 penalty points means the drive-through, and if they do have 20 penalty points, then it's an instant disqualification from the race. But with 1.25 minutes through, Zielinskis has already got a country mile lead ahead of Mark Thomas, who is 1.2 seconds behind. Stefan Parkinson, the number 57. Oh, well, someone's had a little bit of bodywork fly off exit stage rights coming out of Variante Alta as the field makes its way through Rivazzo for the first time. There's Stefan Parkinson leading the AMS classification at the moment. Reece Saunders right up his exhaust pipes. So this is going to be quite interesting going down the Variante Bassa, which leads basically through turns 19 and turn 1 on the run down to Tamburello. It looks like Saunders is going to go towards the inside, in towards turn number 2. He's going to pull alongside, pulls slightly nose ahead and managed to get it through before the apex at turn number 2 here at Tamburello, which is a 3 apex corner, albeit like in 1994 when it was a sweeping left-hander. Zielinskis already setting fastest laps Going to have a little bit of a replay of the start. So you're going to see there's Rhys Saunders to his right is Oremus Zelinskas, and Zelinskas just hooks it up in the first and second phase, and just clearly pulls past Rhys Saunders as if he was standing still on the grid.
And Rhys actually makes a little bit of a mistake, I believe, somewhere around here. He goes a little bit too wide. There it is there. So much on the wheel spin there, and almost keeps it out of the gravel. But definitely has dropped him back a couple of places, and that's the reason why you see him currently at the moment battling his way back up at a P3. Let's move back to the live pictures.
Yeah, so at the moment, Thiago Reiser is really comfortable at the minute. He could provisionally wrap it up with one race to spare. He's currently 5th in the AM classification, but we have had a big old off, and that was that Joseph Sparrow in the 193, so he's tumbled down the order. Just going to have a look at that's not nice. That's not nice what happened there. Just lost the back end, just hitting the loud pedal, and nearly created some donuts in the kitty litter for good measure. But yeah, I mean, Stephen Donnelly, Scott Kostrich, the Scotsman we're riding on board with, currently down the order. He's currently 5th in the pros, but he's outside of the top 10 overall.
Sorry.
But there is a bit of a 2 and 8 at the front of the field. Mark Thomas has definitely got himself involved in this one, hasn't he?
He has. Mark Thomas is the battle there with Rhys Saunders, who it looked like he was going to make an quick of an overtake there, but didn't quite work. So I'm going to go back and have a look at this one. This was the overtake there from Stefan. And
Stefan.
Look at that. Oh, both of them. They must have had slowdowns for sure. I think both those drivers, and that's just allowed them just to cruise on by there.
Yeah, I mean, Stefan Parkinson currently sitting 4th in the AM classification on 413 points. So could he get himself a little bit further up the top 5 by the end of this championship season? Well, folks, the proof will be in the pudding. It's 50 points for a race victory, and that would really put the cat amongst the pigeons with regards to Glass, Matthew, Jones, who are in front of him, 2nd and 3rd respectively. But Glass is 2nd at the minute, so that's 45 points for Glass. That would put him on probably around about 5:03. But Thiago Reiser at the moment, he's doing enough at the minute. Now we're going to see a little bit of a moment here.
Man.
James Bostock gets a little bit of a touch as the number 66 GP2 Racing Ferrari, and that was through the second phase of Tamburello. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, we're now going to see another replay. This is Chris Keenan from the MRC group in the number 76. The number 66, James Bostock was coming back on track after being touched through Tamburello, and Chris Keenan got the slightest bit of a touch. Reminds me of the redress in supercars between Scotty Mack and Garth Tander a few years ago. And that just goes to show that you might be coming back onto circuit, but it's also the fact that if you're the driver coming back on track, you've got to be very, very mindful of your surroundings, and these cars are coming in at a big old lick of speed.
And switcheroo between the teammates there, even though we've been told all season long that they are not teammates, and going back to the other year one driver, and that's Joseph. And into the kitty litter.
That was one of the GP2 cars that was on his inside that he tried to go around the outside on. So a bit of a brazy move there from Joseph Sparrow. He's already had one spin and now he's had another.
He's touched the grass there. Yeah, on his own.
Yeah, he sort of instigated it himself there a little bit, didn't he? But that's what happens when you're pushing a bit too hard. We're coming up to just 13 3/4 minutes still to go. Zelinskas at the minute is leading by 2.9 seconds. Looks like there's been a change between Thomas and Glass for 3rd overall, but 2nd in their respective classes. So we're now going to see another replay. Now this is why the change happened. So Glass looks to have went off there, and that was going through out of Villeneuve and into Tosa. So that just goes to show very, very quickly. Now Rhys Saunders trying to make a comeback down the dip into Rivazza, right on the back bumper of Joe Glass. Now this is not a battle for position. However, this is going to be crucial for Rhys Saunders. He's got to make the move now. He's right in the rear diffuser of Joe Glass's number 10 Ferrari. He's going to pull it to the outside down Variante Bassa, heading down towards Tamburello. So if he makes the move stick here, keeps a very wide berth, so very sensible driving from both competitors. And now that means that Rhys Saunders now... and Saunders just absolutely loses the back end going into Tamburello. And the thing is, Thomas and Sanders are combined are 51 points adrift from Zilinskas, who at the moment, now looking at it from this perspective, it still could come down to the final race as Glass keeps it around the outside at Tozer. And that's allowing Joe. I think that might be
It's Raz Harper.
too short. Yeah, it's Raz Harper going through, who's currently 4th in the pro standings. So noses ahead on the run down in towards Bertella. Very, very big compression zone on the run down towards Acqua Minerale, one of the most testing places here at Imola. And you've got Glass and Jones right with each other. So Glass Tech Racing duo very much in the fights for the AM Championship. 89 points separate the top 3 at the minute. Now, where is Thiago Reiser at the moment? He's 5th at the moment. That's 33 points. If he stays exactly where he is, he will pretty much have nailed the AM Championship in this first season. So he's just got to keep it clean, isn't he?
You mean Reiser, did you say?
Yeah, Reiser.
Yeah, Thiago Reiser, yeah, exactly. Just keeping it clean here. He's also got a team about, he's helping his teammate too in those team championships, which at the moment looking like Team Year 1 are getting a whole ton of cars up there, of course, with Rhys Saunders and Raz Harper, Joe Glass, and his Glass Tech Racing teammate of Matthews just behind him. And here's Thiago Reiser at the moment, rising up to the challenge of taking past the M&M Racing team of Martin Lee, and that's bingo, job done.
Yeah.
Can make it stick here, of course. There he can. Getting it done in the Ferrari course in front of the home fans of the Tifosi. They're all Ferrari, so you're going to keep every single Italian happy here at the moment.
Yeah, also Imola was the location of the Ferrari Finale Mondiali, which is basically all the Ferrari Challenge competitors get together, and it's a big old celebration about the prancing horse, which heads over to Mugello this year. But yeah, a very, very good move there by Reiser and him and Martin Lee. You know, they kept good spatial awareness and they kept it clean, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. That's what you like to see. It's good, clear racing. Of course, there's no damage on these vehicles. It's just instant repairs. As you saw, a couple of bumpers and bits and pieces flying off the cars earlier. But we've got 10 minutes to go now, my friend, and this is the reason why those cars get repaired, as we're going to see Wesley Van Rez, and there's the contact once again, isn't it? And that's
that was a bit of afters right there, wasn't it? That was a bit of afters, and then Wesley decides to boot the loud pedal through the second phase of Tamburello and gets it all wrong and ends up in the kitty litter. So he's dropped all the way down to 10th position in the AM classification, which nets him 18 points. But with just over 9.5 minutes to go, we've got Thomas and Saunders flying in the Team Year 1 formation. Now, the big thing is, okay, the biggest rule we know is that you never take out a fellow teammate.
Well, they're not actually. Sorry, it's CRN Racing. No. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
elbows
Thomas
out there. So, yeah, so Saunders definitely had his elbows out and sharpened on that one and just gave Thomas the biggest whole hip check with his Ferrari on that particular occasion, didn't he?
Yeah. I didn't even know he wants to take that position back, because remember, he was the man that started on pole and currently getting himself into the podium position. As we're looking at Joseph here, who needs to be a little bit further up than what he was, because he's dropped 8 positions after he's had a bit of a tangle. It's turning the gravel trap out there, isn't it? The sand really into one of those crop circles, really. Patterns that are being formed.
If anyone might remember that film with, what was it? I think it was Mel Gibson. With, like you said, no, it was, what was it, Bruce Willis? I can't remember. Oh, Sparra just getting a bit too heavy-handed. Not even, I think, just completely outbraked himself going into turn 7 at Tozer after the Villeneuve chicane. Joseph Preston has just gone off the circuit. He's all the way down in 14th in the AM classification, but at the moment, the way things stand, Zilinskas will have a 47-point advantage. Oh, Joseph Preston just completely lost the back end. And that is just how quickly you can lose traction. You put one wheel on the grass in these Ferrari 488 GT3 Evos and you hit the loud pedal and it's all going to go horribly wrong. Even if you hit the brakes on the grass, we know it's like being on an ice rink. However, Jones is still trying to keep pace with, well, Jones is still trying to keep pace with his teammate Glass. Now these two are battling away with Thiago Reiser, who is currently in 4th in the AM classification. That is going to net him 36 points. Glass at the minute is 2nd, that's 45. And yeah, this is going to be I think this is going to be very, very interesting because, as I said, Thiago Reiser could wrap this up on this race, but I think the Pro Championship is going to go down to the wire because it will be a 47-point advantage between Zelinskas and Thomas. As Raz Harper nearly getting it all crossed up, going out of Villeneuve on the run down to Toza. Oh, careful. That's the number 23 of Thiago Reiser. That's past the number 58 of Jones. And that is going to net him 40 points if he gets that move done by Peratella. Up the hill they go. Down the dip into the right-hander with the big compression zone. Jones keeps it round the outside of Thiago Reiser and stays ahead in 3rd for the moment. Great anticipation there from the number 58.
We're going to run on board actually just for a minute because we could see the action that's also occurring up the road there from Thiago Reiser. He just needs to be cool, calm and collective. They're racing drivers. They don't want to just back it off there and settle. They want to gain as many places as possible, but he's gaining in the points for the AM class, as you'd mentioned. And the problem is right now is they're getting into a bit of a tango, my friend, can drop you all the way out of crucial points that you need to wrap this one up.
Yep, 6.25 minutes still to go in the opening race of the final round of the Evolution Sim Racing Season 1 Championship here at the one of the homes of Ferrari at Imola. And we ride on board with the number 23 of Guarana Racing's Thiago Reiser, who is on the verge of securing the AM Championship. And Stefan Parkinson is now battling away. Reece Saunders up the inside. This is not a battle for position in terms of classification because Stefan Parkinson is the leading AM driver. Reece Saunders now has got 45 points provisionally on his tally for this first race. That will put him slightly ahead. Well, no, a little bit closer. Now looking at it from this perspective, Zelinskas will be on 600 points. Mark Thomas will be on, now he's currently at the minute 3rd. That's 548. And what on earth has just happened there? I saw a big bellow of smoke because there was big exultation from you there, Dean, at the same time. Saunders at the moment is on 499. Add 45 to that. That is going to give him 544 points. So it still could come down to the wire for the final race of the championship. But Zelinskas just needs to beat, the main thing is, beat Thomas and Saunders on track in the final race later on, and he's done the job.
Yeah, Thomas currently at the moment here has just dropped 1 place since the start of this race and currently running in P3. He needs to dispose of Stefan Parkinson, who's very, very quick, obviously, in his class, in the AM class, getting 1 place there, the 57 machine. Reece, I don't think, has enough time right now to catch Zelinskas, so that's it for Reece Saunders after the poor start that he had when he bogged down. He's been notorious for having those poor starts. Something he probably should be working on a little bit more in the next season, in the upcoming season. Of course, the sign-ups will be available for that too, if you do want to be a part of it.
Yeah, sorry to cut across you there, Dean, but I've just noticed lap times. Zelinskas was reeled in by Saunders, not on this lap just gone, but the one before by a second. He's just taken nearly 1.3 seconds out of him. Now we're running at a 1 minute 40, let's say 1 minute 42s, hypothetically speaking. Thiago Reiser right up the back bumper of Matthew Jones. Now this is for 3rd in AM, and Thiago Reiser wants to finish on a high. If he can finish with the top 3, of course the W's a little bit far out of reach with Stefan Parkinson really a bit further up the road to the tune of probably about 15 seconds. But Thiago Reiser, if he wants to get the job done, he's going to have to do it very, very quickly because we've got 3.5 minutes still to go. But Thiago Reiser, he doesn't necessarily need to take P3, but he definitely wants to have P3 to say to the guys in AM, well, sorry guys, you've missed your opportunity, and he'll have done the job pretty convincingly because Thiago Reiser with 4th, that'll put him on 539 points, which will mean that Joe Glass, who's currently 2nd, it's going to wrap up the title. There's no way on God's green earth unless there is a massive drama. And even if Thiago Reiser was to finish 15th, that's 7 points. So you would think at the end of the day, with 530 points, if Glass or Glass and Jones are within 50 points at the end of this race, then that's it. You know, that's it, as in we go to the final race. But you know what? Zilinskas is responding, but with 2 minutes and 20 to go, Zilinskas and Saunders, there's going to be 2 laps, including this one, because they're about 30% of the way through. So next time around, we'll have the white flag. The gap has come down, but Zilinskas has responded with his best effort so far. 1 minute 42.781. And there is Rhys Saunders coming out of Tozer at turn number 7 as they go through turn 8, up the hill, through the slight right-hand kink. Now Zilinskas makes his way through into Piratella, down the hill at turns 9 and 10, and into the fearsome part here at Imola, the Acqua Minerale complex, through turn 11. Hard on the brakes into turn 12, rotate the car up through the hill through turn number 13. That gap is coming down significantly. Just a few moments ago, it was 3 seconds. Now it's just over a 1.75 seconds. Make that 1.5 because Saunders is on an absolute flyer right now.
Yeah, he's going to catch him, but at this point, it's you can see that Zilinskas is definitely just matching him, trying to compensate for him, probably just luring him in here at the moment, like you're luring your bait, aren't you? Your prey into the trap to spring with 1 minute to go. All he has to do is keep calm and collective and not make any mistakes, and it's going to be looking damn good for the final race. Once again, that means that these two will be starting next to each other, which would be another one of those great little matches, battles that they'll be having.
White flag is out, so the final lap is underway. Parkinson just sets the fastest lap in, well, for him, a 1 minute 42.828. Thiago Reiser now has 1 more lap to go, just over 3 miles. It's north of 4.9 kilometres to get past Matthew Jones and thereby secure the AM title with 1 race remaining in the championship season here at the Autodromo Enzo Dino Ferrari. Enzo, the man that created Ferrari, Dino, his son, who unfortunately tragically passed away due to a debilitating illness back in the 1980s. Now posthumously named as part of the title of this circuit. Thiago Reiser looking every way, left, right, up, down, centre, as they come through Tozer. Reiser, I think, nearly got a little bit trigger happy on the loud pedal, nearly went sideways through turn 7.
What's happening
but
here?
It's well, Rhys Saunders is right with Zilinskas. I knew it might happen. I thought it might. Rhys Saunders now has an opportunity to put the frighteners on Orimas Zilinskas. Now, this is for the battle in the pro title. Saunders is going to have the run. He's going to have the inside line into Rivazza. Dives up the inside through into the race lead with 3 corners to go.
He's got it.
But
yeah, exactly.
But out of the final corner, Rhys Saunders from Team Year 1 helps the team to build their championship push for the team standings. Zilinskas will take second as the checkered flag waves. Saunders wins race 1. Zilinskas 2/10 behind. Parkinson wins the AM side of things. Thomas takes 3rd. Harper takes 4th. Joe Glass and Matthew Jones will round out the top 3 in the AM classification, but by my provisional calculations, Thiago Reiser becomes your Evolution Sim Racing Season 1 AM winner.
And he should be celebrating that inside the car, and if we could hear it, it'll be like the Yahoo's and celebrations and all the clapping, of course, from down there in pit road. And Thiago Reiser, let's have a look at the expression on his face right now. You can see it. Well, you can't see it, but look at that. He's got the celebration Ferrari helmet on in the Ferrari-powered car. So that'll be our results. We get them up in a second. We're just waiting for a few more, once again, of these Centaurians, I should call them now, here now that we're in Italy, make their way across the line. Look at that beautiful track. Beautiful day for racing. It is there. Even the helicopter cameraman has got it all blurred. That's how exciting he is. Official race results should be coming in any second now. Wow, I wonder what that if Zilinskas is just spicing things up there for the championship, because I don't think does Rhys Saunders even have it. He wouldn't have a chance, will he? While Zilinskas and Thomas are still getting good positions. There's a statue of the
Well,
man himself you're talking about.
Now they do say never trust a commentator's maths, but I am working things out at the moment. So at the moment, Zelinskas is currently on 595 points. So there are your Heat 1 results here from Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari. Reece Saunders takes the win by just over 0.2 of a second ahead of Orimas Zelinskas. Stefan Parkinson takes the AM class win, and the number 57 running third overall. Mark Thomas and Raz Harper round out the top 4 in the pro classification. Joe Glass second in AM, 6th overall ahead of Matthew Jones, and our provisional Season 1 AM champion here at Evolution Sim Racing, Guana Racing's Tiago Reiser. Scott Kostrich rounds out the top 5 in the pro classification, finishing 9th ahead of Martin Lee, Stephen Donnelly, Gareth Newton, Wesley Van Rens, James Bostock, Joseph Spara, Hussein Sarakadesla, and Graham Matthew from Racing Rascals rounding out the top 17. Chris Keenan, Joseph Preston, and Mark Robinson round out the top 20. And that, provisionally, is, Reece Saunders has just said, I have no chance unless he DNFs the last race. Reece puts in a very, very good point there. But we've got the warm-up happening underway, and very shortly, folks, we're going to have the final race of the Evolution Sim Racing Season 1 here from the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari in Imola. It's the 30-minute Race 2 with a reverse grid top 15. I'm kind of excited about that because
you love pronouncing the track name, yeah?
That's the problem with being with a commentator that. Well, I mean, I love the track. I love Italy. It's a great place for motorsport, of course. Yeah, and I've made sure that every single time I have a full pronunciation, I will go to town on it. Some people go Imola. Why not give it its full name and then say Imola afterwards? It just adds that little bit of I don't know what, je ne sais quoi, as the French would say.
Yeah. And you do it quite well. In fact, what I did have noticed is that you're obviously a very, very experienced and very talented caster, and we have to check your information out there on Twitter and on social media. It should be in the description. If not there, Alex, we'll get that in the description sorted out for you. So, yeah, we'll have to get it in the description. Actually, I have to change that. Do apologize. It's usually Stephen that does the casting. Couldn't be here this weekend. But you sound like have you ever done any horse race casting? Because honestly, I think you could pull it off very brilliantly. Which is difficult to do. Wow.
Never done it.
You sound to me like he's around the outside. He's some of the terminology that you're using is we're seeing a statue there. I think that's of Ayrton Senna, of course, who tragically lost his life here. There's lots of Ayrton Senna memorabilia.
Yeah. So I've just worked it out that at the moment, Zelinskas is on 595. Mark Thomas from CRN, 548. And Reece Saunders says, I can't let him win in the chat. Reece, well done. Great job on that last lap through into Rivazza. Reece is currently on 544, which means that there is a 47-point advantage for Orimas Zelinskas coming into this final race of the championship season. Now, going to calculate the points for Tiago Reiser and everybody else. So Reiser coming into this round was on 523 points. I'm just wondering, where did he finish? I'm trying to remember now.
Tiago Reiser finished in 4th, wasn't it?
In the AM class.
In the AM class.
In the AM
let me
class,
pull it up real quick for you. Actually, I forgot to have the results still.
Yeah, so we can actually give you this information real time. So Tiago Reiser was 4th, so that is 36 points. That puts him on 539. Next up will be Joe Glass, who was on 458 coming into this round. Joe finished 2nd, so that's 45 points. Hang on a second. I just want the plus sign.
It's just us two out there. We don't have a big, massive broadcast team that would be actually probably updating the graphics and getting that one real time.
So that's going to put him on 503. Well, no, 458 plus. Yeah. Well, I think the thing is that if Tiago Reiser finishes ahead of Joe Glass and Matthew Jones in this next race, he's done. I mean, I think he has taken the title. But it is a case of we want to see it come down to the wire, don't we?
Absolutely.
So,
and it will. It's going to be very interesting,
Yes.
this pit stop strategy. So it has paid off before for some of those drivers in the past electing to go an earlier pit stop and then cranking it up and getting it done towards the end. So we're going to see how that's going to pan out as any time now. The warm-up has finished. Nobody even went out on track to warm up. I can't really blame them. They essentially have had a practice session. They've had a 30-minute qualifying session. They've just had a race, a 20-minute sprint race. So that's it. More than anything, they just need a break to the bathroom, a bit of a stretch, and now get ready, of course, for our final race of the season, the feature race. 30 minutes of a reverse top 10 grid there, but for fuel stop required. And we'll show you that grid too, currently at the moment. Second.
Yep, so the final race of Season 1 of the Evolution Sim Racing Championship here at Imola. It's Joseph Sparrow that will start on the reverse top 15 pole position. James Bostock alongside for GT3 Racing on the front row. Wesley Van Rens, Gareth Newton, Stephen Donnelly, Martin Lee, Scott Kostrich, Thiago Reiser, Matthew Jones, Joe Glass ran at the top 10. As hang on a second. Well,
we are off.
We are definitely off and away. And James Bostock already has cheekily gotten past Joseph Sparrow in the initial phase of the start, as they are 3 abreast. Oh, Jones has already tumbled down the order. Oh, dearie me. Matthew Jones off the circuit. Chris Keenan off the circuit. It's all gone horribly wrong for the man that was 3rd in the championship in the AM classification coming into this final round of the season here at Imola. There's Gareth Newton in the Robton Racing number 40 Ferrari. He's currently sitting 7th in the AM classification. Oh, it's all going a bit Pete Tong. Oh, dearie me.
Whoa.
2 off the barriers on the run down to Tozer off of Villeneuve, and somebody's already lost a rear wing, and it's popped back on again. That was Gareth Newton in the number 40, and
Reece Saunders is around too.
oh, dearie me. Reece, you were very close to DNFing in that race, I'm afraid. But James Bostock at the moment leads the way overall and is the leading AM driver. Stephen Donnelly in 2nd. Joseph Sparrow leading the Pro classification in 3rd. Wesley Van Rens having a better time in 4th overall. 3rd in the AM classification as they come over the crest. And then head through Variante Alta. Great little camera shot here on the in part of the chicane. Turns 14 and 15. Line astern are these prancing horses, the Italian turn, the Cavallino Rampante. Again, another one that just rolls off the tongue. I've said it too many times in casting, that's my problem. But Donnelly's made a really good start initially on this opening lap. Joe Glass is up 4 places. He's up to P4 in the AM classification and is running 5th ahead of Thiago Reiser. Thomas has got some work to do all the way down in 4th position when it comes to the pro side of things. But Matthew Jones's opportunity to go for a title has literally fallen by the wayside as his car went off track early doors in the opening exchanges on lap 1.
We'll go back and have a look at the race start here. So we can look at from Joe Glass's perspective. You could see a bit of a bog down from a lot of those drivers. That's just what it all. You got to practice your race starts, guys. You see it. That's why I do love standing still starts rather than rolling starts. As you're going to go 3 abreast of that. Look at Joe Glass. Slices up at the insides, steals the racing line, and then causes that little bit of a concertina effect. As everybody just went, oh, where did he come from? And then this is where the action that was a little bit further back, wasn't it? There's where Chris Keenan goes off. I can't really think that was Matthew Jones as well. She'd mentioned.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, Matthew
then
Jones.
Further up.
Oh, Wesley Van Rens has dropped it.
Yeah.
Wesley Van Rens has dropped it all the way down to the bank. And this is coming out of Tozer, the run up the hit. Well, he had a massive off. He dropped all the way down. He was running 4th. He's now all the way down the back end of the field. Running on board with Scott Kostrich in the number 101, the Scotsman. Currently trying to make his way up. Oh, dearie me, Stephen Donnelly from Team Year 1 is off, and that's at Variante Alta. There's a CRN car, I think, that has just gone off as well, isn't it?
Zelinkas.
Possibly.
Zelinkas. Look, there he is.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Well, you know, Zelinskas, who nearly won race 1, if it wasn't for Reece Saunders. Now, Saunders at the moment is 4th. Zelinskas is currently 6th. Here comes the maths again.
Where's Saunders? Oh, no, I was going to say Saunders is currently here on the track. I was looking. He's not that far up because he had a couple of moments as well. Yeah, you're talking about that. Further up, Joe Glass, of course. Oh, Scotty straight into the fence. High speed impact.
Oh, dearie me. The camouflage Ferrari comes a cropper on the fence. Oh, just mined out with the rejoin coming out of Tamburello and into Villeneuve, mate. Go.
Have a look what happened here. Oh, he's got
he got a touch.
Yeah.
He got a touch. He got a touch from behind. Not too sure which driver that was, but that was the slightest touch on these mid-engine rear-wheel drive turbocharged V8s, and they will go off the circuit. The drivers only have an assist with regards to the clutch. All assists are off in this championship. Sarah Kadesla now trying to go with side by side with Thomas. And Thomas, I think, Thomas has just gotten through. So Sarah Kadesla in the GP2 Racing number 8 Ferrari loses a position, but not a position in class. Spara is being hounded by, Thiago Reiser. I don't think just wants to, he doesn't just want to end the season in the right way possible. He wants to be at the sharp end. He wants to be at the front end of the field. And with 5 minutes, and he's just launched it, going into the Vatsa at turn number 17 on Joseph Spara, you can see that Thiago Reiser is wanting to confirm his AM Championship status by a win on the circuit.
What a way to do it, isn't it? Do it in style. Joe Glass wants to catch him as quickly as possible. He has to dispose of Martin Lee. That's the Glass Tech Racing pull-up pro. Obviously, I think it's Joe Glass's team, isn't it, for the Glass Tech Racing? So there it is. Job done for Mr. Joe. As long as you can make it stick through here, you certainly can. And that's it. So Stephen Parkinson, the man who won the last race there for the AM class, has got some serious pace this season too, Alex, and he's looking to make his way through as well. He had similar lap times to the pro drivers, so probably a man that will be promoted to the pro division next season if he's re-signing.
Yeah, like the fact that he's using the good old throwback of the Sky Tempesta Racing crew when they actually used the Ferrari 488 GT3 in an international competition, including the Intelligent Money British GT Championship, and now they've switched to McLaren for this season. But Parkinson really showing a clean pair of heels to some of the opposition, including Mark Thomas, who is second in the pro side of things. But yeah, we ride on board with the number 57, who showed very much his prowess around this circuit. But there is a little bit of an exultation because Scott Kostrich, I think, has just gone off track again, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, poor Scotty. The camouflage racing rascals. Scott's machine here is another little moment.
Oh, that was through. Was that through Aquaman and Ali? I wasn't
Looks
too
like
sure
it.
where that. Yeah.
Has to wait here. Now I was wondering if that was just what we saw. Doing some nice keep it spinning. Yeah, there you go. Good job. It's not easy to spin these cars around without horsepower as your right foot.
Yeah, first set of pit stops look to be happening now as well, because Mark Thomas and Stefan Parkinson are in pit lane. So some are just trying to, I think, get as, we said about the fuel side of things, that they were going to need a pit stop. So sometimes short fueling ahead of the race can actually help you. Or you might just decide, well, I'm going to go for as minimum as I need to, which will be around 4 laps, and then bring the tank to the full capacity that's allowed on the server, and then go to the end. Zelinskas now currently sits in 4th place in the pro side of things, and that is effectively going to put him on 575 points. Now, Rhys Saunders at the minute is on 543. Now, we do know that Mr. Thomas, unfortunately having that drama in the opening salvo of the race, will be on 30 points. So Zelinskas needs to stay ahead. Well, he basically, as I said earlier, he needs to finish ahead of Thomas and even if Saunders beats him on track, it's not going to be enough. He said in the chat quite clearly, I need for him to DNF. If he DNFs, that's no points. It's no bueno. And effectively what that would mean is that if Zelinskas does have a DNF, that puts him on. slight
You
mistake.
don't want to jinx it either, because
No,
I think
no.
Yeah, I think we've had.
I don't believe in jinxes or commentator's curse. I believe in fate of circumstance. You can talk about somebody, it might happen. It might happen, being the operative word.
You and but yeah, you as well as Zachary are all about that one. Commentators coincidence, not commentators cursing. But we have had, as Mr. Matthew Jones goes in the pit road, as well as Scott, we have had, unfortunately, race leaders completely had a disconnection before, and we wouldn't want to see that happen for a championship, because at that point you couldn't. Ooh. As Stephen goes a little bit too quick around the outside, I was going to say, I don't think he could how much power he had coming out of that corner, but that's just because of braking time.
Yeah, he was a bit too... I think he was trying to channel his inner Travis Pastrana on that one. So, but Thiago Reiser, now this is the battle for the overall lead. Thiago Reiser right on the back of James Bostock, and the lap times previously, 1 minute 43.989 for Bostock, 43.785 for Reiser, who's swarming all over the back of the number 66 from GP2 Racing as they go into Variante Alta on the run through in towards Livazza very, very shortly. So I did say that Thiago Reiser would want to win the class and then thereby take the title as a result of it being on circuit. We're about...
Got him.
That was a bit of a moment there for Bostock. He lost the back end coming through the first part of Livazza. They're still briefly side by side. Spara's right up Bostock's exhaust pipes, coming through out of turn number 19 as they come across the line to complete lap number 6. 19.5 minutes to go. Reiser leads. Bostock has got Spara to the inside of the run down to Tamburello. Could it be 3 abreast? Will Spara decide to chance it? No, he doesn't. Bostock still stays ahead. Brakes a little bit later than the 193 through turns 2, 3 and 4. And Sarika Dessler in the number 8 has decided to go into pit lane and has dropped outside of the top 10 in the AM classification. But what a fight between these three, even though 2 of them are AMs and 1 of them's a pro.
Absolutely brilliant. And believe it or not, at the moment, it's the AMs that are at the top of the time sheets, generally majority of them, and that's just because we had a reverse grid, remember, so they had a little bit more of a challenge to start from P15 and make their way up through the field, which they have, because Saunders is just on a flyer, actually. He's just got straight past Joe Glass like nothing, but then again, Joe's not the same category fighting with him. He's like, and he doesn't want to hold up Reece Saunders too long, because Reece Saunders is just a man on the machine. Look at that. He's going to be catching this pack, Alex, in no time.
Yeah, he's on an absolute fire, is Reece Saunders. He's 2.2 seconds behind the current pro class leader, and that is Joseph Spara. Gap between them 1.8 seconds. Remember what happened in the previous race, folks. Reece Saunders closed in quite significantly on Orima Selinskas, who's currently sitting 4th in the pro classification at the moment, rounding out pretty much the top 9 or 10 as we ride on board with Thiago Reiser, who now has started to stretch the legs on the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. It's pulled a gap of over 6.5 tenths, probably make that 7 tenths before they go across the start-finish line to start lap number 7. And he is just pulling away. Bostock is just standing still.
It doesn't make it, any great driver can make a car look absolutely fantastically fast, as you all know. Max Verstappen and stuff like that can make that machine look good, but it is great to see. And here is our championship leader, looking to secure that championship, and in and out there over on the outside. 6 positions gained now for the 181 machine, and should be well on his way to take the trophy for the season there for the pro. This is the last race, remember everybody, if you are tuning in. There's the man going to be wrapping up the pro division very, very soon. Wesley's down here, and then of course the other driver that we're talking about, and we're just going to wrap it up there for the AMs is Thiago Reiser, who is leading this race currently at the moment. He doesn't need to be in the P1 to win the championship. He just wants to get the glory. I was going to say for guts and glory, isn't it? Just because it's the best way to pick up and hold that trophy, the championship trophy, at the end of the top step. He's well on the way to doing that. But yeah, there's still to make pit stops, Alex, as well.
Yeah, that's going to be the crucial thing. Where would it put them in terms of their positioning? Reece Saunders already closing in. Oh, well, Saunders looking to close in on Joseph Spara, the two teammates at Team Year 1. They can't take each other out. That's the biggest cardinal sin you can make in racing. As Martin Lee has just had a big old moment, the number 4. He's just got into the pits. So he might have had an RTG return to garage on that one. Reece Saunders now battling away with Joseph Sparrow.
Oh, it's not even a fight here? Yeah.
No, I think Sparrow just went, you know what, you're battling for the title, I'm going to let you through. Now, the way that this has worked things out is that Saunders will be... Now, we're going to have a look at what happened to Martin Lee. This is coming through the second part of Rivazza. Big old wallop on the curb, runs wide onto the grass. Now, what's going to happen here? Now, he's coming through onto the start-finish straight. So it's the M&M Racing number 4 car. Touches, little glance of the wall coming down the start-finish straight. On the run down into Tamburello. Now this, just wait. We're going to see what happens here, folks. Runs through into Tamburello, through turn 2, through turn 3, now into 4.
Not quite sure this is going to show it actually specifically, but I think
he did have a big. Yeah. He did have a big old off track, and he was in the pits for 28 seconds. So, oh look, yeah, just coming out of Villeneuve, and that might have. Now I'm not too sure. Now this could be a little bit of a long-winded replay, folks. But coming out of Tosa, he's got one car not too far behind him, so he's got the run up to Piratella, which is turns 9 and 10.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
Maybe he's had a distance.
Yeah, it's just showing that at the end of it for some reason. It might have just had a little bit of a cat's come across your steering wheel, or one of your animals or children have jumped on and pulled the cable out or something like that. But here's Reece right now, looking for the race lead.
14 minutes and 10 seconds to go. And Reece Saunders looking to pick up 2 wins on the bounce here tonight. And that really just showcases that even with Saunders, he's in the lead of the pro side of things. And when you think about it, the championship will be decided if Saunders stays where he is. Zelinskas, who's 6.6 seconds behind Raz Harper, the championship will be decided by 17 points come the end of this final race of the season. And you can see that Saunders is saying to Thiago Reiser, hello mate, you know who I am.
Yeah, but Thiago Reiser does not want to yield this one, because he's one that's wrapped up the championship. He's going to make it as difficult as possible. He's like, all right, I don't care if you're in the pro class, my friend. Try me. Try to find your way around. I'm not going to make it easy for you, nor does he have to. There is no blue flag conditions just because you're in a different class. He's battling it out. He's like, I've already got that trophy, mate. I'm going to do whatever I can to deny you any possibility of getting yours for the pro class. The Saunders, because we still do have, don't we, or is it, yeah, Zelenkas in P6 currently at the moment. That's all he needs overall, P6, and that's all he needs, isn't it? He's overall P4 in class. That's all he needs to win this championship. But look at that, Thiago Reiser still denying Mr. Reece Saunders.
Yeah, and the top the top 4 in the AM class. Oh, paint swapping. But a paint swapping between Saunders and Reiser going into Tamburello, and the 191 from Team Year 1 ends up taking the overall race lead. Reiser still keeping on with him. We've run on board with Reece Saunders now. This is how close it was going into turn 2 here at Tamburello. A little bit of a hip check between the pair. And Reece Saunders was the immovable force, and Thiago Reiser was the unstoppable object. And one had to give, and it was the number 23 on that occasion.
You've seen that a lot, actually, because there's a difficult overtaking place. And the key thing is keeping the car pointing straight when you're having those contact moments, because if you don't, then somebody's going around. We saw that a few times. Teammates here are Team Year 1 there. It's Joseph and Raz Harper are exchanging it. They got Joe Glass just lurking in the background now. Still yet to make pit stops. The man has made a pit stop, and currently at the moment is the net leader in pit stops, that is, of the AM class. Pro class, sorry, is Mark Thomas. who is second in the championship, may not be holding on to second championship anymore, right? With Rhys Saunders currently in P1 in this.
At the moment, well, Rhys Saunders, now Thomas is 5th, which is 33 points.
Oh, he's 5th. I thought he was third.
He's 5th. Saunders, if he takes 2 wins tonight, he'll be on 608 by my approximate calculations. He was on 508 coming into this round of the championship with 2 races still to go. And yeah, at the moment, Zelinskas, he just needs to hold station. He'll pick up 30 points, and that'll provisionally take him to the ESR Season 1 Pro title. And it's now Joe Glass from 2nd in the AM class decides to pull in for his mandatory pit stop with just over 10.5 minutes remaining. So a couple of drivers have been in the pits for, well, the highest pit stop I've seen with standard pit stops is Matthew Jones with around 12.8 seconds. Joe Glass has been in there for nearly 15 seconds. Chris Keenan has just jumped into the pit lane from 5th in the AM class. He's now dropping down the order, and Joe Glass has now dropped to 6th position. But of course, we've still got to wait for the remainder of the drivers to go in, which includes the top 4 in the Pro class, rounded out by Zelinskas, and then the top 3 rounded out by Graham Matthew, who started 11th in the Pro class and is now rounding out the top 3. Battle here between Newton and Robinson for 11th in the AM classification. Just under 3/10 of a second separate them as they make their way down the start-finish straight heading into Tamburello. As all, Robinson gets a little bit late on the brakes into the opening part of it. Nearly went into the back bumper of Gareth Newton there and probably nearly shoved him off onto the gravel just on the outskirts of turn number 2. But still, some drivers leaving it very, very late for the pit stops. Rhys Saunders has bolted from Thiago Reiser in the meantime. Raz Harper now pits from 2nd, as does Joseph Sparrow. So this will promote Zelinskas, who, well, no, Zelinskas pits at the same time. So Rhys Saunders and Thiago Reiser are really eking out the fuel strategy. So are Joseph Preston, who's just come into the pit lane. Will Graham Matthew join him in there as well? That's the key point, or is yes, he does. So we've just got 2 more drivers to go, and that's Rhys Saunders and Thiago Reiser, who are currently leading the respective classes. And you can see that with the pit stops between Raz Harper and Joseph Sparrow, 8.9 seconds for Raz Harper, Joseph Sparrow just over 9.2 seconds. Mark Thomas was in the pits and has just done the undercut on Joseph Sparrow and has pipped him out of pit lane and has ended up P3 in the class. So, and Zelinskas was in the pits for just under 11 seconds, so that drops him down to what will be effectively 5th place.
Yeah.
So
This could be good for Mark Thomas. Remember, he was one of the first ones to jump into pit road. And now,
yes,
if he can get past Raz Harper, he can take a podium position, and that's going to be brilliant for him, gaining 8 positions, or 9 positions essentially at this point.
Well, more importantly, if he gets 2nd ahead of Raz Harper, then that's going to net him 45 points, which will put him on 589. So yeah, it's going to be very, very close. I'm looking at it. The way things are, Rhys Saunders now jumps into pit lane. So does Thiago Reiser. Now, looking at it from this perspective, now Jones and Matthew Jones, in the meantime, has just gotten up to 6th position in the AM classification. So, looking at the way the points are at the minute, well, Glass is currently on 543 points because he's currently P3. A lot of wheel spin from Thiago Reiser coming out of pit lane. Quickly, hopefully, hitting the pit lane speed limits. Otherwise, that's a slam dunk penalty for the number 23. But yeah, I mean, the way things have just sort of transpired. I mean, Reiser and Zelinskas have done exactly what they've needed to do this evening.
It's a bit of a jump there at the moment. Raz Harper was flying like crazy because you just see Diego Reiser come out of the pit road, so he's like, opportunity to attack quickly as possible, while Reiser's trying to get the temperature back up into those tyres and everything. Well, he's got the temperature in his tyres, of course, but he had to stop, fuel in there. That's when you mount pressure. Thomas is trying to do that. Got a little bit eager.
Yeah, so Thomas right on his back bumper. I mean, yeah, that Raz Harper nearly did a bit of a night rider. I thought he hadn't warmed up his tyres, but he hit the turbo boost instead. Through into Tamburello. He was very, very lucky. He got away with that one, I think. But yeah, Thomas's tyres will be up to temperature with just under 6 minutes to go. But Saunders has just bolted away into the distance. He's probably on his way to Mugello at the minute with nearly a 6.6 second lead over Thiago Reiser. But the main thing is he's nearly 7.5 seconds ahead of Raz Harper, who's got Mark Thomas breathing down the back of his race overalls at the moment for this second position. But even if, I mean, looking at it from this perspective, Thomas will, I mean, look at it from this perspective, Dean, that the top three in Pro at the end of this season, if it stays like it is right now, Zelinskas is currently now in 5th. That puts him on 6.28. Saunders leading the way, that's 6.08. And then Thomas on 5.84, which effectively means the top three in the championship will be covered by just 44 points come the end of this race.
And that's what you like to see in a season, coming down to the absolute wire. That's why every single race counts. Every single race, every single point that you can get, regardless of what position you are, if you're just a little upset about yourself and what you can do. Bring it home. See Barney waving that flag. We did lose Martin Lee, unfortunately. That was, you saw the yellow M&M car pulling off to the side there. I think that was a technical issue, no doubt, because he's completely retired from the race, as well as Robin Aston. But I didn't think Robin Aston even did a lap, so that was just another time. A couple more people in the pit road. Last of the pit stoppers there.
Oh, Wesley Van Rens and Sarika Dessler. Oh, did they mistime it? Did they misjudge the fuel? That's the key point. Did they misjudge it on fuel? And that says to me, straight away, splash and dash.
Yeah.
Well, Wesley Van Rens has been in the mire earlier on, but with 4 minutes to go, Rhys Saunders is about to close off the season and secure second in the championship by doing the double here at Imola, and he's thoroughly deserved it. The way he has just catapulted himself to the front of the field early in this race. James Bostock, what on earth was that? That was a big old cut coming through, and he's lost all that effort of trying to get through, and he's lost a couple of positions, I think, to Glass and Jones, who are now 3rd and 4th respectively. So Jones now will pick up, as a result of that, being 4th in the AM classification. That'll put him on a few more points, because that'll put him on 510 points. But with 3 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, I lost you there for a second.
On those in front.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's the boss man, so you got to give him some credit there for James. He's got a lot of work to do behind the scenes, so it's quite good he even gets out there and gets the practice in there. So.
Yeah, he's been an absolute trooper. With myself, Dean, and Steve, and also the JP Broadcasting Network. Thank you very much for getting us on board for season 1, and we've really enjoyed all the action, especially tonight being the championship finale. Parkinson looking up the inside of Spara in the number 193. Thomas is closing in on Harper for that second position. So Thomas now has an opportunity for possibly going for that second place. Now, these two are not in the same team. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the time of the leaders, and so I would imagine that we are going to come down to the final lap very, very shortly. If it ticks underneath 1 minute. White flag, Dean.
Yeah, I'm starting to lose you a little bit in and out there with the connections between across the pond, like in the Americas, where I am currently at the moment, where you are, and here it is. So, don't think there's going to be too much of a battle there, because he's going to come through, of course, our championship. As Rhys Saunders just says, I'm going to win this race. He is going to win this race. He's going to get the fastest lap as well. It's the only way he can just finish this season in style. He won't get the championship trophy, but he certainly will have a smile on his face, and he's Stefan as well.
Yeah, with 1 minute and 20 still to go, Stefan Parkinson doesn't seem to have given up. I mean, Zelinskas now is is quite a way ahead of him. I mean, Parkinson still. There is Thomas. Oh, Spara, and is that Zelinskas at the back? That is the 150. That is Thomas and Spara sparring away. They've got the number 23 of Thiago Reiser right in front of them with just under a minute to go. This is going to come down to the wire. Will Thomas get a number done on Harper in the dying stages of this race? With 60% of this 17th lap here at Imola completed. I was going to say, yeah, I did dip out there. I'm not 100% sure why, so apologies for that, folks. I think...
It just happened again too, partner. Right, good racing, absolute brilliant racing as we're on board right now with Mark Thomas. We'll keep it on board with Mark Thomas to give you an idea of what he's seeing up the road. See, actually a little bit further back behind him. Oh, this is good. This is the overtaken opportunity. There's a collision. That's actually going to allow him to squeeze on through. This is the last lap of the race, no doubt, as our race leader is going to come across the line right now, and there he is. Rhys Saunders wins here in Italia. And style dominating, and there is our AM champion. Thiago Reiser gets it done there on a race Harper. Are you there? Are you back there at the moment, Alex? Could have lost Alex.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yep. It could be actually my connection to you, etc., whatever. But I got you.
Okay. Well, that really, Zelinskas with 5th has signed up the championship for Pro. The biggest thing is, I would imagine now Team Year 1 might have picked up the team's title. But of course, those any sort of results that we got today are provisional. But Saunders does the double here at Imola. Thiago Reiser provisionally picks up the AM title. Zelinskas takes the Pro title. I love it when a championship goes all the way down to the wire, wouldn't you agree, Dean?
Oh, it does go to the absolute wire, which it did. Just waiting for a few more drivers to go across the racing line, the finishing line, to see Barney waving his right hand. Or if it's his left hand, not sure. Good to see. We're still going to have 19 or so drivers finish this race. There's Joseph Preston. That's Stephen Donnelly for the Year 1. So we have a Year 1 driving team that wraps it up the top of the timesheets, and then all the way down the bottom we still have the team Year 1. As you said, we got to work that out, don't we? Kind of crunch some numbers there, but here's your results for the feature race.
So Rhys Saunders does the double here at Imola, takes the sprint race and also takes the race 2 with the mandatory pit stop by 7 seconds ahead of Thiago Reiser, who provisionally becomes your Evolution Sim Racing Season 1 AM champion. Raz Harper and Mark Thomas round out the top 3 in the Pro side of things. Looks like Team Year 1 might have clinched the team's championship on this particular occasion. Mark Thomas from CRN Motorsports in 4th, taking 3rd in the Pro class. Joseph Sparrow and provisionally our Season 1 Evolution Sim Racing Pro champion from SRB Motorsports by Lint Vega, Orimas Zelinskas, rounds out the top 5. Stefan Parkinson, Joe Glass, Matthew Jones and Chris Keenan ran at the top 10 overall, with James Bostock starting from the outside of the opening row. Unfortunately, he had a bit of an off-track excursion at Piratella a bit later on in the race. Finishes 11th, ahead of Gareth Newton. Mark Robinson, Hussein Sarakadesla, Wesley Van Rens, who could have been a little bit further up the field, but unfortunately, off-track excursion and 2 trips through the pit lane meant that he was having to finish in 10th. Scott Kostrich was in the walls and in the wars as well. Unfortunately, finishing 6th overall in the Pro class. Graham Matthew and Joseph Preston had some great battling earlier on. And then we have Stephen Donnelly and unfortunately Martin Lee retiring on lap 7 after a significant incident earlier on in the race. But it looks like we have, Dean, a couple of drivers to talk to tonight, don't we?
We do. So who would you like to have a bit of a yarn to at the moment? We've got a couple.
Well, let's have a chat with Thiago Reiser, who has picked up the Evolution Sim Racing AM title here for Season 1. Let's start with that one, shall we?
Yep. Do you have the powers that be to drag them in? I'll do it.
Let's just see if I
I'll
can.
get him. Thiago Reiser. Yep. So, Alex, there you go. I got him for you.
Well, Thiago, firstly, congratulations. Evolution Sim Racing, Season 1 AM champion. You did everything you needed to do. So close to the overall win, but still picking up the win in the final race. How are you feeling?
Happy. Very happy. It was a good season. I had some up and downs, but overall it was a really good season. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I mean, I know for a fact that obviously English not being your mother tongue, but it's not a problem. But still, Reese getting up the inside of you through turn 1 at Tamburello. It was quite funny to see that we have the man that won both races in Pro and also the man that picked up the title in AM battling each other. It could be a sign of things to come, couldn't it, here at Evolution Sim Racing, wouldn't you say?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I don't know how much I will be racing next season. I have football on Thursdays again. Well, it started 6 weeks ago, so I've missed 6 practice sessions already. So I think I'll prioritize football over racing. But yeah, we'll see how much I race. I hope I can race at least like 4 or 5 races.
Well, Thiago, congratulations on wrapping up the AM title and the final race evening of the season. And we look forward to, even if it might be in a small capacity, having you back for Season 2. Well done tonight.
Thank you very much. And thank you for commentating. And from what I've seen, it was brilliant as always.
Thank you very much to our Season 1 AM champion, Thiago Reiser, picking up the win in the final race of the season. And I think looks like we might have one more interview. So I think we've got Mark Thomas wanting to jump in. So Thiago, we'll leave you to get on with your evening. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. See you.
So Mark, thanks for jumping in. Third place to round out the season. It hasn't been an easy one, though, has it?
No, it really hasn't. Very tricky season. Reese and Aramis are just ballistically fast. So I didn't think I was going to get anywhere near those two, but held my own, I think, and I'm happy with that. Good end to the season for me.
Yeah, picking up a second in the sprint race and picking up third. I mean, it got a bit close between you and Raz at some points, didn't it?
Yeah, just a little, and I think some of the driving standards was a little at the start was a little abrasive, sharp. What's the other word?
Maybe.
Yeah. That'll work. That works. But yeah, I mean, it was. I think the one move, is your defensive move went completely out the window tonight. It was like a drunk drive nightmare out there. There was people all over the place.
I think maybe some people might need to be breathalyzed like they do in the British Touring Car Championship, wouldn't you say? Like when Rob Austin used to be in that, if anyone might remember.
Yeah. The breathalyzer, drug test, a sight test,
urine sample, urine sample, blood sample, the whole shooting box,
Yeah, that's right. That's the one.
But still to finish really, really strongly at the end of, as I said, which has been a very, very testing season. I mean, by my calculations, I think you might have wrapped up third in the season points overall, but still to give Oremas and also Reese a run for their money. What can we expect from you in Evolution Sim Racing Season 2?
Well, I'm yeah, I don't think I've got the pace for Reese or Aramis. I just don't. They're just quicker than I am. But I'm not going to drop down. I'm going to stick with the pro. I mean, the only way you learn is by racing against these guys. So
Yep.
I'm staying in the pro series and looking forward to next season. Actually, it should be really good. With different GT3s in there, I think that's really going to mix the field up somewhat.
Brilliant. Well, Mark, well done tonight with the second and third place finishes, and good luck for season 2, buddy. Thank you very much for joining us in the comms box.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks, guys.
So, I think what we'll do is we'll bring in the man that has been doing a lot of hard work behind the scenes here at Evolution Sim Racing. Let's bring in Mr. James Bostock for what could be our final interview of the evening here. James.
Boss man.
James, good evening.
Hello, boys. How are you?
All good. All good. Firstly, on behalf of us here at JP Broadcasting, on behalf of myself, Dean, and Steve, thank you so much for allowing us to help broadcast what has been a fantastic first season of Evolution Sim Racing, and what a place to finish it here at the home of Ferrari at Imola.
Very good, mate. Very good. You're very welcome. Now, I've just popped into the interview room, not thanks to any results, but just to thank all you guys at JPB for excellent broadcasts throughout all the season. And in our first season, I think we've had really good turnout, reasonably clean racing all the way through. And I think what's top to top for us is when we all watch it back, and it's such a fantastic stream. So thanks to all of you for doing such a great job, boys.
So GP2 Racing, I mean, of course, you were on the outside of the front row in this this final race, and you still, what's great was you gave it your all. You literally ran away from the start like a scalded cat, going into Tamburello, but then things came a little bit unstuck. I think we saw you shortcutting, I think, going into Piratella at turn 9, which is the double left going into Acqua Minerale. What happened there?
Yeah, I think in general I just ran out of skill and talent. I don't know what happened tonight. The guys were just like the guys I usually battle with were just like Joe Glass and Matt Jones were just super quick, and I was probably driving a little bit beyond my ability, and I got hit, unfortunately. I think Diego nudged me in race 1, and that just put me right back. And I thought, well, if I get to P15, at least I can have a go at the front for a bit. And then got a good start, and yeah, just kind of as the tyres went off, I think I was probably getting a bit tired as well, and just ran out of skill, I think. And then after that, it just so many off tracks and penalties. I got a drive through, but anyway, we enjoyed it. There was no like battles and whatever, so no championship battles. So overall, it was a good race. We were in chat with Joe Glass and Matthew Jones and Hussein, so we had a bit of a giggle, which we do every week. So yeah, just not meant to be tonight, but enjoyed the season, enjoyed the battling, and we've made some. To say it's a new league, we've got a great group of people here. So yeah, onwards and upwards for season 2, which starts next week actually.
Yeah, quick turnaround, I must say. But I think just by looking at the quality of the drivers and also provisioning from the mental calculations, I wasn't sort of popping figures out of my head. I was using the scoring and also using my calculator as well to do it on the fly. That from my calculations, that Arimas has taken the pro title, Tiago's taken the AM title, and it might be the fact that Team Year 1 with Reese and Raz finishing first and third in the final race might have just secured the team's title. But what can we expect for Evolution Sim Racing in a week's time for season 2? What's on the cards? What news can you divulge to the people out there?
Well, I mean, first of all, we're a racing league that's. We started the league, myself and Alex Fretwell, with the help of Joe Glass and Matthew Jones. We want to be a community and a league where the drivers have some say. So we started it as a one-make series, just to see. We didn't know how we were going to get on. We've previously ran leagues in Formula One on the F1 platform. So this was our first kind of dabble into iRacing. So throughout the season, you're getting a bit of feedback. Some people don't like damage being switched off. Some people don't like the setup that we've chosen. I deliberately asked Alex to give us a stable setup for the race because we've got quite a few AMs in the class, myself included. That stability was the kind of key for us. So throughout the season, we've taken on board that feedback, and then we sent out a bit of a feedback form for everybody who wanted to sign up for season 2, and almost everybody, wanted GT3s. So that's what we've gone with for next season. So it'll be GT3s. It will be the iRacing fixed setups for each car. Damage will be on next season. Landslide victory for damage being on. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be something new for us to learn. And then since we've advertised it, we've had in a week, well, about 2 weeks, we've got 57 signed up at the moment. So we've got 3 empty seats only. And yeah, my PC's probably scared the life out of it thinking about 50 odd cars on track, to be honest.
Oh no.
So yeah, but I mean, look, we've got, we're just a friendly group of people. We're lucky to have some good sponsors on board. So I need to say thanks to them as well. So Petec 1885 have sponsored us this season. We've also got GP2 Group Limited and Kame, who provide us some very nice personalised trophies for the winning top 5 drivers in each class. And thanks to them, we've also continued that into season 2. So yeah, hopefully we've put a nice package together. We've confirmed with JPB that we're going to be running the series, the broadcast through JPB, which we're all really pleased about. And having so many people join us in like a week and a half, the Discord's probably never been as buzzing. So yeah, we're all excited and a bit nervous because there's quite a lot of cars on track at any one time. But yeah, it's all good, and we've got two pre-season races not broadcast, and that's probably a good thing. So where people can just pick and choose the cars, and then we've got one promotion race just before we start, and then we go into an 8-round championship. Everything else will stay the same. So first race 20 minutes, second race 30 minutes with one pit stop. But obviously everybody gets to choose the car that they like. So it's going to throw up some real interesting battles of different cars on different tracks. So yeah, all good, Alex. Really, we're looking forward to it, mate.
Brilliant. James, thank you very much for your hard work behind the scenes. I know your phone's going to be pinging like crazy on Discord, but hey, that's part and parcel of it. Really, we have to say big thank you to you for allowing us to do this, and we're really looking forward to season 2 already. James Bostock, thank you very much, and have a very, very good evening, buddy.
And you too, guys. And you too. Thank you very much.
So that rounds out the driver interviews here for the Evolution Sim Racing Season 1 finale at Imola. So, few thank yous. Firstly, thank you to James and the team at Evolution Sim Racing for entrusting us at JPB to broadcast this. Of course, things are confirmed for season 2. Big thank you to Steve Karabelas, who has been on the mic for the majority of the season, hasn't been able to make it tonight, has been joined by the man that's joined me, Mr. Dean Biggles. My name's Alex Goldschmidt. Thank you very much for watching JPB Broadcasting. Dean, any final words before we sign off?
See you all next season. Thank you very much, Alex, and thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to watching it.
There's plenty more action here. Yeah, there's plenty. Sorry, Dean. There's plenty more action still to come on the JP Broadcasting Network this weekend. The Triple Bypass Racing Gen 4 Round 12, which happens at 2 o'clock UK time this morning. Round 4 of the JPB TCR Cup tomorrow afternoon. The Virtual World Sports Car, 400 kilometers of Suzuka on the second, along with SR4S Formula 3 and the IGP Formula 3 Round 12, funnily enough, is happening from Monza in Italy. So on behalf of Steve Karabelas, Dean Biggles, my name's Alex Goldschmidt. Thank you for watching. This has been a JP Broadcasting production, and we'll see you for Evolution Sim Racing Season 2 very soon. Good night.